The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all. Yes, sir. We are back on the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. And over there, it's my hetero life mate and brother from another mother. He's calling himself Luke Sky Starcher. Ladies and gentlemen, the disapproving dad, Jesse Starcher, otherwise known as Jesse. How do you do, sir?
Oh, man. May the 4th? No, wait a second. That was a week ago, wasn't it? My bad.
That is why we're doing this.
Just a little late. A little late. And I'm excited. We're going to be talking Star Wars.
Yes, sir. And down there,
getting all the juicy drippings.
Yes.
Yeah, we got that Reaganomics going on.
At the bottom of the Jesse and Mark totem pole is the metal goop, Robert Cooper. How do you do, sir?
Am I at the bottom of this Eiffel Tower?
You really are. Power bottom metal coop.
Yeah, that's I mean, hey, what can I say? I love me some acoustic music. That's how you know.
All right.
I don't know. I tried. I whiffed. But you know what?
Yes, sir.
Everybody strikes out eventually. But yeah, I'm good. I'm very excited. I've been balls deep in the squealing hog that is Star Wars as of late. So this is perfect timing.
It is perfect timing. I timed this show perfectly, as I am wont to do, being the patriarch of the Radulich Broadcasting Network. I saw that it was May, and I saw that we had a Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox to do, and I was like, okay, there's a new Galactic Empire special edition, so we're going to review that, and we can talk some general Star Wars, and we can do a Star Wars list, and just have a whole Star Wars show.
A whole Star Wars show.
But I was telling Jesse that, you know, the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox is really just a platform, and it is a safe space for me to come to Jesse and talk and tell him sexy stories, because Jesse, as we all know, lives through me.
Yep. I'm always sending Mark messages. What'd you do today? Tell me about how naked you got, please.
Jesse is very interested. He's like, what else did you do?
What's sex?
Just like, get me out of the mundanity that is my middle class Ohio life, and tell me what kind of sexiness you're into,
please.
And I never like to disappoint Jesse, but unfortunately, my daughter needs extra help in math, and we were unable to do trivia at Caliente. Caliente was having has every Tuesday night has a trivia. And I'll tell you what, there's no trivia like naked trivia. Let me tell you. I've done a lot of trivia in my time, but I've never experienced naked trivia, and I didn't get to this time, so I don't have that story to tell. They also have a karaoke night. I don't know if you know that, Robert Cooper. Caliente, and I would imagine other places where the clothing is optional. I know the Sexy Playhouse here in the Tampa Bay area also has a naked karaoke night. And I'll tell you, I'm very interested in these things. And I keep making plans for Nigel to go to naked karaoke and naked trivia, but I am denied every single time for one reason or other, because the people in my life are moderately uncooperative. What do you feel about that?
Moderately.
I feel like, if you want to go put your nut sack on a twice used bench and do bingo, by all means, you should.
That's right, naked bingo. I haven't found naked bingo yet, but I'm sure it's out there. I did do regular, good old fashioned normal karaoke though. I did it with the Jack A. I did karaoke with the Jack A. Did you know that, Jesse?
That's amazing. Curious as to what songs you sung.
Well, I have to go back. How far back?
Way back
to my nuptials, my marriage, and it's 2009, and we had people do readings. Okay, did you have readings at your wedding, Jesse?
No, we had. What's funny though is the lady who sung at my my wedding was my aunt who ran a karaoke business. So
it all adds up. It all comes together.
Yes, indeed.
So we had people do different readings, and I can't remember what all Melissa had her people doing readings for, but I, being me, had my dad do a reading of one of our very special Mark and Melissa songs. There are songs that are very special to us, songs that we played at our wedding, like songs we walked into, songs we danced to, songs that were especially ours. And one of those there's a reason I'm making sure that you understand this was a Mark and Melissa song. Was Nothing Else Matters by Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
I had my dad do a reading of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica because my dad got a bit of a tism. He read it like William Shatner. He didn't know he was doing Shatner, but he was totally doing Shatner. And there were people in the audience, and I don't think people caught what he was doing at first because I don't know if we and now a reading from the Book of the Black Album. No one knew that he's doing Nothing Else Matters. And then when people started to figure it out, there was a lot of stifling of laughter. Not just because it was Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, which is wildly out of place at a wedding, but because of the way my dad was doing it. And then people started putting up lighters, which is really funny. Fast forward to karaoke. Jack A, she did Somebody to Love by Queen. She did All That Jazz. And I can't remember what the third one was because I couldn't get it up. For whatever reason, 2 out of 3 songs didn't get copyright knocked on TikTok. One of them did, and that's the one I don't remember. I also did 3. I did Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. I did The Nookie.
You can take that cookie.
Solid pick.
Stick it up your
Stick it up your You should be on my TikTok. You just see me rapping. Big old fat white guy just rapping his ass off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But you know what the third song I did, Jesse, was?
Tell me.
Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. And here's the kicker. Did half of it as a duet with Jackie.
Oh.
That shit's on TikTok.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Melissa was
How's the couch?
Melissa was in Georgia with her boyfriend. And I was like, well, the cat's away. The mice will be passive aggressive.
Sending love. I mean, wait just a second.
And she sees me on TikTok, and I am curious to see if she's ever seen it and just decided we're kind of in this place of let's just not fight with each other. Let's just hold that and we'll direct it elsewhere. So I do wonder if she's seen it and just be like, you son of a bitch. Or she just hasn't seen it yet.
No.
But she'll hear this podcast.
Does she have a TikTok?
I mean, she's got a TikTok account that she goes on TikTok and sees other TikToks. She does not make TikToks unless I've made her make TikToks on my account.
Curious as to what TikTok she's going to be posting where she's doing some karaoke. What song do you think she would pick?
That is not what I'm afraid of her putting online, quite frankly.
I thought she was going to do a fucking skin flute solo to some Jethro Tull.
Look, I've been on her FetLife page, so all I'm going to say. And yeah, don't ask. Yeah, he knows. There's the guy.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, she's got to be very careful with what she puts up because she is a teacher.
Right.
This is the Metal Hammer of Doom, after all.
Yeah.
And
she is in the educational system.
She is in the educational system, which is rapidly deteriorating. But so she's got to be somewhat careful with her public personage. Anyway, speaking of passive aggressive public personages, let's talk about Star Wars.
They're known for, everybody that talks about Star Wars is known for their measured and calm reactions to everything.
Yeah. One of the best fan bases out there, from what I
the
understand.
least of the toxic fan bases you can find. Yeah, I believe the Star Wars fan base is very rational and very open to interpretations of their favorite thing. Speaking of passive aggressive. Anyway, I was born in the year of our Lord, 1976, on the south side of Chicago as a poor black child. And by 1977, when this thing hit, you could not get away with it. And I have like pictures of like my first birthday, where I had not one but two cakes because I was a big fatty. And
I ate them all. Nobody got to eat any of it but me.
They stuffed me full of cake and then they tried to eat me. My parents were cannibals. My parents were cannibals. But I had one that was an R2D2, I think, and I think one that was a Chewbacca. And I can remember,
and they used real hair.
And I can remember those like dozen or so Kenner Star Wars figures that, you know, were big at the time, and I had a bunch of them as a kid. I had the case, and then, you know, Empire comes out in, I believe, 1980, and so I got to be clear about this. I'm 4, okay. 76, I'm born. 77, Star Wars comes out 3 years later. I'm 4 years old, and my father, who did William Shatner does Nothing Else Matters Metallica at my wedding, took me to go see The Empire Strikes Back. And I don't know if you've ever had a 4-year-old in a loud theater. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a little loud. It could be a little much for the 4-year-old.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get past the Battle of Hoth before I was crying my eyes out and forced my dad to leave. And I'm pretty sure to this day he's never forgiven me. It went back in theaters like months later. And like a girlfriend trying to win back her boyfriend's love. I was like, this time I'll be better, Dad. Like I was gonna like promising not to burn the meatloaf. I was like, I promise to sit through it this time. I promise not to make you leave. And he's like, you fucking better. Or I'll blacken the other eye. So
this is becoming sad.
What?
The first one was his brown eye.
Yeah. So I made it through the second version of a second attempt at Empire Strikes Back, but I will tell you the lightsaber. Like I got past the Battle of Hoth just fine. I kind of like put my hands over my ears. Like I was prepared.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the lightsaber scene, which I hadn't seen yet by that point, and that sound. I was like, every time Luke and Vader swung those lightsabers, I was like, oh god. And then in 1983, now I'm 7, and I see Return of the Jedi in theaters, and it's awesome, and you know I loved it. The speeder bike scene was like the most amazing thing I'd ever seen captured on film. And then I moved out to Los Angeles in 2000, and that's when Phantom Menace came out. My buddy Tom, who like we used to call ourselves Jedi because we were dorks, and we just had a huge love of Star Wars, and he flew out to Los Angeles to see the Phantom Menace with me, and like I watched it one time during the day by myself, and it was so funny, the experience. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm a kid again. I feel like I'm reborn. 2 hours later, like what the fuck did I just watch? And then Tom flies in, and we go to the theater. We go to see it on City Walk at Universal in Los Angeles, and afterwards we had a long processing session. Couple of years later, Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones comes out, and I don't know if you know this about me, Jesse, but I'm hostile.
Okay.
I can be a jerk.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Did you guys remember around this time, like the early days of the internet, there was a list floating around of like sexual terms, but it was like Rusty Trombone and Angry Dragon and Compton Gangbang and all of that.
Okay.
I don't know the Compton Gangbang, but I do know the Cosby Sweater.
So there was a whole list of these. It was going around. It was going through email lists. Remember AOL, like fucking email lists that you'd be on.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I got one of these. It was several pages long, and it was the list, the definitive list of dirty sexual things. Man. You know, the dirty Sanchez. Speaking of which, so one of my friends, so we were sharing it amongst my friends. One of my friends brought it with us, so we're online. Remember that when back in these days we actually stand online to get into the movies, right? We're online. There are children all around us. going to innocently see a Star Wars movie, a family-friendly Star Wars movie. And there's me and my jackass friends reading aloud like the town criers what this list is.
The Black Phantom.
the occasional nudge to one of us going, there's fucking children around here. Stop talking about rusty trombones. We're like, no. It is amazing I was not stabbed.
I was going to say, dude. Wow.
Yeah, I was terrible. So was the movie.
Now look at you.
And so was the movie.
Nothing has changed, by the way.
Yeah,
like his own children have heard everything. Actually, he read the list to them as a
bedtime story.
Yeah, a bedtime story.
We're gonna put away the sweet pickles. You've now heard there's a monster at the end of this book. Let me tell you about the monster I'm about to show you.
Oh no.
And then finally, Revenge of the Sith. Now I'm in Florida. I'm actually living in Miami at this point. And again, my friend Tom flies down to Florida. We take a trip to Orlando, and we see Revenge of the Sith at Disney. Two of the three prequels I have to see at a theme park. I saw it on Disney, Downtown Disney, and there was a podcast that would come out of this years later. But I don't think me and my friend Tom argued ever. Like we have had some nasty fights between us. None were nastier than our debate over which was better, Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Jedi. And so I say all of that to say, like, I read the comic books, read the Dark Horse comics. I read the Marvel ones when I was a kid, read the Dark Horse ones 1 year later. For a while, the only books I would read were the Del Rey Star Wars books. Like, I was a huge fan of this thing. I don't know what's happened. Well, I know what happened. Kathleen Kennedy and Disney, but I was definitely one of those people who was like a devout religious follower of Star Wars. What about you, Jesse? This at least up through Revenge of the Sith, because if we start talking about modern stuff, first of all, it'll turn into a therapy session. Second of all, we'll be here for 2 hours just talking about that.
Right.
This will be cheaper, at least.
Yeah.
I think my first interaction with Star Wars, the franchise itself, I was probably watching it on TV with my stepdad.
Okay.
And my stepdad he really enjoyed the Star Wars films. He really enjoyed Star Trek. He was kind of the one that introduced me to those franchises. So never watched any of them in the theater. Mostly I was catching them either.
Even like the special editions when they got re-released?
No, I don't think we went and saw them in the theaters.
I saw all three of them on a dome theater in Seattle. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the town. Like, that wasn't Seaford. Fucking anyone but Long Islanders are gonna understand what the fuck I'm talking about. There was this domed theater in like the northern part of Long Island and like the Hoity part.
Oh, and yeah.
We saw all the Star Wars special editions in this dome theater. It was pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, it really was.
That's pretty crazy. The special editions themselves, I got those on VHS tape, the old classic 3-pack from. I got that for Christmas 1 year, I believe.
Oh, okay. You weren't like us. You didn't do the midnight sale.
No, I did not. I think I did one midnight sale in my time, and that, honest to goodness, was Titanic.
Really?
Yeah, me and the wife were in line to get Titanic.
I'm glad you said your wife was there because I was about to start.
Oh no, I'm such a Leo DiCaprio fan till the day I die.
Okay.
There's always room on the door for him in your life.
That's right. I would have. Yeah. So anyway, the rest of mostly catching on HBO. I think I remember watching Return of the Jedi on HBO at my babysitter's, and my goodness, we could talk about the toys. I never really got many of the toys, but I know people who did. And I used to play with the Star Wars toys all the time. So the movies themselves, though, never caught any of the original trilogy in theaters.
Okay.
99 rolls around, and I'm like, it's time to pay my stepdad back for all the time, all this great history of Star Wars that he's shared with me and got me on to. We're going to go see the first of the films. We're going to go watch The Phantom Menace. And I don't think I ever disappointed him more.
And that relationship was over.
I mean, we come out of there and I was like, this is not what I was expecting. I mean, there was some great action in some of the sequences, but the story just like, I mean, I understand it's a political. That was more of a political movie. It seemed like than it was to what I was getting in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So that was the end of me going to go watch Star Wars in the theater until one of the recent films. I think I went and watched Last Jedi in the theater. So,
you didn't even see The Force Awakens in the theater?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
He had 18 kids to take care of.
So Tom came down for all three of those too. Tom came down for Force Awakens. We saw that at Disney. He came down for The Last Jedi, and that one we just did local. We were like, I'm not spending a lot of money on this anymore, and I ended up liking The Last Jedi, but I'm like one of the weird ones.
No, I'm right there with you. Of course, I think it's because it was one of the few movies that I've seen in the theaters too.
Yeah.
Like if I watch it in the theater, there's usually a good chance that I'm probably going to like it. So I didn't hate it.
Did you ever see the Family Guy episode where it flashes to like Brian watching the OJ trial verdict with his black roommate?
Not me.
OJ's guilty, and you just see them like pull guns on each other. That was kind of me and Tom at the end of Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, really? This is fucking trash, and he's like, this was amazing. I'm like, get out of my house.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Sure. With the strength of the strength of a terrible writer. Yeah, so I saw all three of those in the theater, and Tom came down for all three of them, and then we were like, let's stop going to Star Wars movies together. Anything else, Jesse? If not,
man. I mean, what a franchise. You know, talking about the movies themselves, I haven't had much interaction, but man, I could tell you about some video games, playing plenty of Star Wars.
Games. Oh, dude, like going back to when I was a kid, like the arcade, like the Star Wars, the arcade game, you know, where you like did the Death Star Crunch Run, and then years later they had a really good one with you know, like almost like movie quality cutscenes where like it goes through all three of the movies and you get like shoot at Boba Fett and all that. I played that in the arcade.
Head over to Source Material, the YouTube page, and you can catch me and Mark doing a audio commentary of the walkthrough of that game. Yeah,
that's right. I remember. I think it was
Hands Up, Don't Shoot.
Was it Dark Trooper? I played that on like the original PlayStation, I think.
Okay. Did you have a 64? Did you play the Shadows of the Empire? Was it Shadows of the Empire? Was that what it was?
Shadows of the Empire. Yeah.
I did not have an N64. I did, however, have the edition that you would put on the Sega Genesis that allowed you to play whatever. Yeah. And I had whatever Star Wars game was for that. I don't think I've played anything past the Dark Trooper games. Okay. And I don't even know if I'm saying the name of the game right.
It's not.
There's what is the name of that? The Force. The one that I thought would look really sick for the Wii, but I think it came out for the Xbox as well.
The Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed. Yeah, that's what
that might have been the name of the game then.
I
know like when you're finding the one guy, and he's running around. And he's not quite a Jedi just yet. And it doesn't matter. I played that though. I played a lot of that. All right, what about you, Cooper? What's your relationship to this franchise? You're like 12 though, so like.
So, well, funny enough, it's because I was born in 91,
right?
At the end of it. So I remember, I do specifically remember going with my stepmom to the box office to get tickets for one of the re-release films. I want to say might have been Returned, but I don't remember which movie. But I just specifically remember that because I also remember being very confused as to why we had to wait to go to the movies. We were just there. But, you know, I didn't really understand box office, and buying things early. But, yeah, like as a kid, I really liked it. And then when The Phantom Menace came out, I was all fucking aboard that, the hype train. You had it advertised on everything. I used to say, as a kid, it was my favorite because I thought Darth Maul was really cool.
Yep.
But what was really funny is I was actually terrified of him. So, like, I had this really cool Darth Maul poster at my dad's house that I was scared to walk into the room without the light on because it just scared me.
The prequel trilogy is a really great lesson in Star Wars is for children.
Yeah. And it was, I liked it all right. And then, I saw Attack of the Clones in theaters and I remember liking it, maybe not loving it. And then, Revenge of the Sith, I was in high school by then. No, I was in middle school-ish. What year was Revenge of the Sith? 05-ish.
Oh man, I want to say
04, 05. Yeah, I was
yeah. No,
I
it
was
was 05 because again, I'm living in Miami at the time.
yeah, so I was like 8th grade or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like I really enjoyed that and enjoyed watching all the DVDs, the fucking butt ton of bonus features. My parents had the VHS tapes of the original trilogy, played the hell out of the games. Knights of the Old Republic, I literally just played that. I played through both of those games all the way through. Love the Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy games, Battlefront, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And then when like the newer trilogy came out, because there was a little bit of a dip after everything came out, I didn't really get into as much on the books. I'm only now just starting to kind of listen to some of the audiobooks because I actually do feel that even though it's fucking 30 years old now, there's so much good content. While it's not perfect, there's some shit.
Oh my god, the Heir to the Empire trilogy is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like those first dozen or so Del Rey books, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, Shadows of the Empire, the whatever the Princess Leia book was, all that stuff was good. Like it was like they got solid science fiction and fantasy writers to do those. Like that's what always killed me about the Lucasfilm purchase by Disney was saying stupid shit like there's no books to adapt. There are, you threw them in the trash because they were like, they made a formal announcement that that's all Legends and Legends is not canon.
I actually heard the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of adapting that sort of media universe into their new plan was Chewbacca was dead.
Yeah, he was killed by like whatever. I can't even remember what the name.
The Yuuzhan Vong.
The Yuuzhan Vong.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was a dark series of books, by the way.
I've heard, and I really want to. It's one of those I'm wanting to get into that because, versus what Disney has, which I've listened to a couple of decent.
I don't want to give too much away, but like Han Solo has like twins and then a third child, and like they become the focus of the Star Wars universe, and it is messed up. Like the shit that those three do to each other. It's crazy.
Like I know the male twin ends up pretty much being what Kylo Ren became,
right?
But worse,
right?
But the interesting thing is that I feel like the pre-Disney extended universe was kind of a labor of love, whereas the post-Disney, there is still love in there, but it definitely has a corporate agenda, and it just
corporate approved love.
Yeah, and like for example, like when The Mandalorian came out, like I thought it looked cool, and then I finally gave it a shot, and I loved it. Yeah, and that kind of got me started back into just kind of reevaluating because
those first two seasons are a great 1-2 punch, and they needed to stop. That third season, ugh.
I actually didn't mind the third season as much.
I could not do Alexis's review because I would have been beset on all sides by Star Wars apologists and nerds, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is fucking shit, and I don't want to sit here being yelled at by three uncritical nerds telling me how great Star Wars is. I'm like, ugh, I can't do this with this fucking show.
It's one of those because it was actually kind of cool getting to experience watching it week by week because I don't really get to do that often.
Right.
So getting to get that hype and your speculation, and I do agree with some of the people I've listened to that, like for example, the Mandalorian parts of the Book of Boba Fett was the best part, but also
the Book of Boba Fett was terrible.
It was like my best friend Nick, who one day will be on this podcast. There we go. Like he does, like he's definitely an apologist, but like he's honest about it. He's like, all these movies, they're like my kids. I couldn't not love them. Yeah. And he was like, oh, the Book of Boba Fett was fine. I'm like, eh. And then he's like, oh, Kenobi was really cool. I'm like, no, it was not.
I was yelling at somebody. Oh, I was talking to somebody at work, and she's like, what'd you think of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like, I thought it was trash. She's like, how could you? Like, it's so good. And I'm like, sorry, they were throwing fucking mountains at each other at the end. Dumb as shit. They're like, no, it looked cool. And I'm like, okay.
And I think what really just like kills me is, the amount of time that's supposed to be between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. Like you're starting to get at the to where the two universes, like, or I guess those two time periods are almost encroaching on each other.
Yeah.
And I'm really failing to see, one, how Ewan McGregor is going to become Alec Guinness, but two, the reaction of Vader seeing him in A New Hope. Like,
yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, they already. It's one of those, like, it's cute fan service,
right?
Like, I would have preferred it to be kind of a maybe like a what if sort of thing.
I'll tell you, the one movie, I don't know if Jesse feels this way. I don't want to. Jesse's just like, I'll let you two girls talk. I'm gonna go fucking play Marvel
I'm reading
Snap.
comics here. You guys go ahead, keep talking.
Like he's over there playing Marvel Snap with Evan Bevins.
Yeah.
I think the only movie that's worth the shit, like truly worth, like is independently a good movie, good solid movie in the Kathleen Kennedy era is Rogue One. Like Rogue One, I think is a solid fucking film.
I loved Rogue One, and the reason is because it didn't just feel like, all right, here's space wizards,
right?
Like, because you have so much, and I still need to finish Andor, but there's so much on like the ground level of these universes that they've created that, like, it's interesting.
Well, David and I've talked about this now a couple of times. Dave and I talked about how the Star Wars, and I got this from Red Letter Media. You know, I'm always like bagging on Winfrey because it's like, stop stealing from the critical drinker. All right, I steal liberally from Red Letter Media, but they were talking about how small the Star Wars universe is, and I tend to agree with them. Rogue One was one of those situations where they got everything right and they got to play in the universe, and it felt a little bit bigger than normal. Felt a little bit bigger than Luke Skywalker, which is about all anyone seems to be able to tolerate now in Star Wars, which really bothers me.
Yeah, because like I probably need to reevaluate The Force Awakens, because I loved it at the time, because it was like, it's pretty much like somebody did. It's the equivalent of a cover song, you know, where it's pretty much like, it's kind of like the first movie, but we did a little bit of our own thing. Like it was fine.
It was one of those like where I watched it and I was like, okay, good first start. All right, I'm excited to see I'm excited once you take that big that second step where we're going with this. And I like The Last Jedi. Don't get me wrong. I defend The Last Jedi, but The Last Jedi kind of felt like the end of the movies. Like, we're done here. Like there is like it ended, and I kind of look at my friend Tom and I'm like, so there's not going to be a third one, right? They just decided to fuck it and we're not doing a trilogy anymore. And he's like, no, they gotta rebuild. They gotta do something. And I'm like, dude, they killed the fucking rebels. They're done. Everyone's dead now. Like, they crushed the rebels. Like, the Empire won. How the fuck do you come back from this?
Yeah, because I saw it 3 times in theaters, actually, because I went by myself. Well, so I went by myself. Like that opening Friday, I went like fucking 12 p.m. And then I took a girl on a date, and we saw it. And then my stepdad wanted to see it the next weekend, so I went with him. And each time I saw it, I liked it less because I left it being like, I was fine. And then by like the third time, I'm like I think what really frustrated me was the Holdo character, Laura Dern.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, all right, why didn't you just like
Kathleen Kennedy self-insert?
Like, why didn't you just tell Poe what's going on instead of just being a sort of antagonistic sort of character for?
She's a busy businesswoman who don't need no Poe.
And if you can use hyperdrive to suicide bomb people, I'm just saying, we could have fucked some shit up.
We could have. All right. Anything else about, like, I'm gonna kind of give my like final word on Star Wars, and then we can play a video, and we'll get into Galactic Empire. But I get into it with Chris Bailey now because Chris Bailey is like a devout religious Star Wars apologist, and I've just outgrown it. Like, it's one of those things where, had the quality kept up, like, I will still go back and watch the Lord of the Rings movies. The quality, I still enjoy those movies. I don't feel like the content is juvenile. So I can watch them over and over and over again. I pick up new things. I hear new things. I still cry at moments. Like, it still hits me the way it did the first time. I don't have that with Star Wars. Between the quality dip, the antagonism of the fans, and just the fact that it was juvenile to begin with, and I've become like a bitter old man. Like, it doesn't really do anything for me anymore. And like, look, when Luke Skywalker fucking kills everybody and, and walks away with Baby Yoda, I was like, slow clap. Good job, guys. You got me. I had a moment. I mean, it was like, but it's one of those like petting a puppy kind of a deal. It's like, oh, this feels good for a moment. All right, I'm done with this now. I'm done with the puppy, and I cannot get excited about Star Wars anymore. Like, they have all these new shows coming out, and like I might watch Ahsoka, but I have zero interest in like the Acolyte or I still haven't watched Andor, and I've heard Andor's the best Star Wars show yet. I'm like, sorry, I gave Obi-Wan a chance, got kicked in the balls. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I only watched The Mandalorian because the first 2 seasons I thought were really good. But even after that, I'm like, oh, you made this the Bo-Katan show. Stop with the bait and switch, Marvel. I mean, Star Wars. I mean, enough already. I can't deal with this property. It's not interesting for me anymore. I just want to move on to other things. Jesse?
Well, hey, I'm not as devout as you guys seem to be. I mean, you guys have watching. You guys are watching more. Yeah, right. Was for you. But yeah, I'm in the process of going through the 3rd season, watching it with my family. I think it was 2 years ago. It was during the pandemic. We had Star Wars Sunday when we went through all of the Star Wars films every Sunday. Me and my daughter would sit down and watch one because
real quick, I took my kids to go see Return of the Jedi. They liked it just fine. They were like, hey, does this inspire you to watch any more Star Wars movies? They're like, no, not even a little.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the amount of content that's out there for Star Wars is unbelievable. Not even did you guys talk about any of the animated stuff that's out there? Bad Batch,
right? Oh my god, the old fucking Clone Wars, but not like the one that everyone loves. I'm talking like the anime Clone Wars.
Yeah, the one with like the one that was Genndy Tartakovsky who does did Samurai Jack.
Right, and I hear a lot of good things about those, but
that's really
back when we were kids, the Ewok show, Droids, like the Saturday morning cartoons.
Right. Well, it's a franchise that hey, at some point I'm going to probably casually start watching something else that's in there with whether it be Andor or whether it be the Book of Boba Fett, just because I want to experience it. But after hearing some of the
skip the Book of Boba Fett.
After hearing some of the commentary from you guys, yeah, it sounds like there's some other things that I should probably watch.
I think you can catch.
Slam your dick in the door. It would be a better use of your time.
Oh man, why was it so bad? I mean, just give me 2 sentences as to why it was so bad.
I don't know if I could do it in 2 sentences.
Let's put it this way: they didn't have enough story for a full 6-season episode. They had to give 2 episodes to The Mandalorian.
There wasn't enough there, and I didn't really enjoy the characterization of Boba Fett. Okay. I felt like in season 2 of The Mandalorian, he was. He was one of those, he could be a little bit of a good guy, but he was still kind of gruff, still that badass bounty hunter that you always imagined. Whereas in the Book of Boba Fett, he's fine. He's just a nice guy.
Well, it's like, I want to be a gangster, but I want to be a good guy. No one knows how to fucking write in Hollywood. He's like, they put him out there as, I'm going to be like the new Jabba the Hutt. I'm going to be the new mob boss, but I'm going to be a really nice guy. Which fucking one is it? You can't be both. And that's kind of how they put Boba Fett out there.
I heard there was like this real high-speed chase.
It was not high speed. It was quite low speed with color-coded bikers. Yes.
They're rainbow-colored Power Ranger bikes.
It was, it's just one of those. I feel like if there's like a Spark Notes version of the Book of Boba Fett you could watch, I'd recommend that.
Okay,
get the highs, get the highs, get the gist of it, get the good parts, and then just
watch the pitch meeting.
Okay,
all
right then.
All righty, let's go ahead and do our first video of the evening. I'm gonna go first this time. I'm gonna go in the order that you guys sent me fucking videos. So this first one, this is a Star Wars is Born shallow parody by Nerdist, and I thought this was fun. This is a parody of A Star Is Born, like Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But this is done up with Star Wars characters, and I laughed the first time I saw it, and I was like, I know that this is the Metal Hammer of Doom after all, but like I think in 3 videos, one should be a really fun one. Like last time we did this, I did the tragedy mashup with Rain and Blood and It's Raining Men. Like, if I have to be the one that always finds something silly, that's fine. You guys can do the serious ones, but I kind of, I want to take the opportunity to go off the beaten path here, and I also kind of wanted to stay on topic. So here's a Star Wars video for your ass, Chris Bailey. This is A Star Wars is Born Shallow. Did you watch Star Wars?
Say it again.
Have you seen A Star Is Born?
No, I have not. I know what you're talking about, but I have not seen it. And there's
Which one?
Yeah, there's only been a million of them.
Wasn't that the second remake?
There's been a bunch. No, no one's happy in that Jedi world.
Well, it's because it's very chaste. And that's why he needs to talk to her anyways.
That is a very useful skill. They found someone that looks alarmingly like Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with this. I can absolutely picture Adam Driver doing this. Here comes Ray.
Is Carlos someone I should avoid?
I mean, probably.
His redemption something.
All right, if we don't see Kylo shirtless, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I've been trained. Out on Octo, I find myself looking for you.
Kylo Ren.
Dancing Kylo. Oh,
Fucking ghost of.
she'll never turn dark side.
Oh,
Ray Palpatine will never turn dark side. Honestly, this version of the trilogy is better than the trilogy itself.
this. And we never explained where Snoke came from or who he is.
Nope.
No.
Subverting expectations.
Yeah. I will say that fight they had with the Praetorian Guard was really good.
Yeah, that was a very cool scene. Sorry, Kylo Ren with his sleeves rolled up is really hilarious to me.
Oh, he's gonna take her nose.
I'm gonna pick your nose. Oh, there's the blue milk. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Please don't betray me, evil guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
The porgs.
I almost called it a pog. Nice.
Called them pogs.
I almost called it a pog.
You can slam it; it'll just not go well.
Me and Jason, a few ways back, we covered the Porgies trilogy.
Porgies.
Oh no, porgies!
Oh God, there's more of these. Yay!
Fat
Oh,
house.
no.
Fat house. Oh, now I'm curious.
Tommy Wiseau's The Dark Knight.
Perfect. I will be watching those later.
I was just waiting for you to be like, nope. All right, well, here we go. The Nerdist presents this podcast.
Yeah, and utterly distracting us from the rest of the agenda. All righty, let's talk about Galactic Empire Special Edition, which came out not that long ago. I think it actually came out on May 4th. And it does, I got to bring up the track listing, but it covers, it covers like the Mandalorian, like more of the Nick the Newer stuff than the previous albums. We've actually covered. We've not the first Galactic Empire album we've reviewed, which I thought was funny because like we normally don't do instrumentals. In fact, we usually cut them from the review proper. But
what can you do?
Yeah, we've covered, but we've reviewed the other two albums. I know that because I looked it up earlier. I was like, did we do the other ones? Like, holy shit, we've done all these already.
This is my first though.
All right. So the track listing is 20th Century Fox Fanfare. Not anymore. Star Wars.
I was tickled by that, actually.
Star Wars and Revenge of the Sith. The Imperial Suite. Dark Side Assault. The Mandalorian. There we go. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bad Batch theme. There's another new one. The Book of Boba Fett. Boo. Attack Position. That's what I'm going to get into later.
Oh, no.
The Battle of
no.
The Battle of Hoth and Victory Celebration. Yub nub.
Nah, yub
Nub.
You buck your polka. Jump, chickadee boo, Jackie. Sorry, I had a minor stroke.
No.
Small one.
Do you smell burnt toast?
A little bit. It's a solid album. I mean, Galactic Empire, more of the same from the first two albums. They metal up these songs, and these songs are already pretty good. Even like the Mandalorian theme, with like that has kind of like that pseudo Western flavor to it. They metal it up a bit, and it sounds pretty good. What did you think of the new Galactic Empire, Jesse?
Very good. I actually played it about 3 times tonight when I was cleaning up look, this perfect background music, just like Mark said. There's no vocals. I think there might be a one of the songs, I can't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Book of Boba Fett. I think it was, where
it was.
You can hear them. Yeah,
vocalization.
They're just chanting or whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is perfect music you could throw on in the background, and you're not going to have to pay attention to anything. I was cleaning up the sunroom upstairs with this on the whole time.
The sunroom. You're cleaning up your sunroom?
The sunroom, sir. I don't know what else to call it.
Is your daughter allowed in there?
No. Off limits. There are 2 standout tracks.
Let me ask you a question. Did you also then have to go put the books back in your study?
Indeed.
I didn't realize that you had a manor. The fuck, sunroom? What are you talking about?
It's a room that has like a shit ton of windows, and the sun comes through. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a sunroom.
Okay.
Because
when I come over, will you please take me to your parlor so we can have brandy?
I will walk into the sunroom. It's the first room you walk into when you walk in the house, sir.
Is that where with all the windows and the sunlight? Do people just fucking melt in there? Like, oh, you're fucking trapped now, you son of a bitch.
It has a TV. It's beautiful, Mark. It's nice. Okay. It had has a bunch of stuff in it. That's why I was cleaning it.
I live in a dilapidated crack house that no one wants to take care of.
Okay, all right.
I don't have a sunroom.
You've seen the bookshelf, right? That has all my fun little toys on there. That's where the sunroom's at. It has all, and it does. So I guess it doubles as a study as well, because it has a ton of graphic novels. Yes, Mark.
How big is your dining room table there, Rockefeller?
Quite large, sir.
Yeah. Do you and your wife sit at like the end of it and like have to like text each other?
I got the fucking Rocky robot that'll bring you some shit down. Yeah, I send it on down.
Happy birthday, Marky.
2 standout tracks on this album. I really like the Mandalorian cover, and the Dark Side Assault really kicks some ass.
Yeah,
that's actually a really good track. A couple of them, I did not like the Book of Boba Fett song very well. I even watched it. I'm not a fan, but it was great to see it kind of close it out with the victory celebration, which was awesome. But yeah, and opening it up, like Coop said, with 20th Century Fox Fanfare, I was like, are they actually opening it? Yeah, so it's a 22-second track of just the 20th Century Fox theme. So I dug this. This is actually really good showing from these guys. I don't remember being that impressed with that second album, the last album we listened to. The first one I really liked, but the second one I wasn't really too impressed with. Well, this one's great.
What'd you think, Coop?
So this is my first time listening to him. I was not on the other 2. And I mean, I kind of fall in line with probably the best you could say about it. Like, yeah, it was fun. It was good. Like, most of these tracks I've heard many times. I'm quite fond of. Love their version of the Mandalorian theme. I actually like the Book of Boba Fett theme. That's one of the few things from it I actually was like, I don't mind this. It's probably something I could throw into a playlist just as kind of nice buffer in between other albums. I dug it. It was good.
All right. do we want to move on to the next segment, or do we have anything else we need to talk about with this? Because this isn't like the Metallica one where I have all kinds of things I could say about it. You know, all kinds of like experiences with the album from a movie I saw and shit like that. Like, no, I'm like I kind of said all I need to say about this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's like here's your Star Wars music. We got a guitar.
Yeah. Honestly, this was an excuse just to talk about Star Wars. On the Metal Hammer of Doom. All right, so Jesse, go ahead and introduce the next video.
Oh, well, you could go back into the archives. I think it was re-aired here.
Jesse,
recently.
is this mathcore?
Oh boy. Coop and I covered an album by Scar Symmetry called I think it was called, my goodness, Phase 1 of something. I cannot remember what it was called. Anyway, Scar Symmetry dropped an album. I want to say this was almost 10 years ago. I could be way off there. I'm double checking my math just to make sure that I know what in the world. The Singularity Phase 1 dropped in 2014. Coop and I covered it on here. Mark, you were absent. Well, anyway, they are finally starting to drop singles from Phase 2. And if you paid attention at all through the story of Phase 1, it's called the Singularity, Mark. The robots are coming, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And we are now in the situation.
And they're like, happy birthday.
I'm gonna ditch this.
I'm
gonna ditch this cancer-ridden, sickly, coughing body and get myself a robot one, and then I'm gonna make them pay. Wait, no,
I thought
sorry.
I thought they were all the robots from Rocky.
I yet again said the quiet part out loud and revealed my evil plot.
Oh man. So anyway, we're getting ready to jump into one of the first singles that they have dropped since that album. So here we go. This is Scorched Quadrant. I can't say it right. And yes, there they are. They're all ready. The robots are here.
I'm fucking excited. Like, first of all, this is a jamming song so far, but I'm more excited of the robots taking over.
Oh yeah, they are dropping them Amazon drones.
Things are going to get crazy. The second
they're
single,
Amazon police drones.
The second single after this is called Chronautilist. So yeah, I don't know if time travel is going to be happening, but I'm on board. You know that.
Of course, uncritical time travel fan.
That's correct.
The Chris Bailey of time travel, if you will. Listen, did you
have
have
a few bad time travel movies? I'll say that at least.
Did you happen to hear our Guardians of the Galaxy review where I'm cheering for the robots?
No.
Damn.
we were talking about the writer's strike, and they were saying that like one of the things that the writers are saying is like they don't want their jobs to be taken by
artificial intelligence. Oh,
yeah,
man.
and Dave was just cracking him over the fence that night. And one of the things he was just like, "Yeah, say that to the iron workers who said no robots in the factory, you fucking assholes." And I was like, "Can I tell you with what we've been through with Hollywood as of late? I'm cheering for the AI." All right, this is badass, Jesse.
Oh, I know, man. Just get ready. I mean, this whole album is going to be just chock full of stuff.
Why is the girl from Firestarter in this?
If I could tell you what's going on in this video,
because that was the only video. This is the only job she could get after that.
Oh
movie.
Look! Look! It's Generation Kill.
I assume that we are on our last legs here, trying to fight against these robots.
We are losing the battle against Skynet.
Yeah,
yep.
It's not good.
Can I tell you how I cheer for Skynet in those movies?
I'm sure you did.
Why?
I finally watched Genesis for the first time ever.
Heard anything I've said for the past year?
I mean, not on purpose. I actually didn't. Was Genesis? Yeah, Genesis was the one with Emilia Clarke, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so dumb. That was so dumb.
Yeah, that one was silly. I didn't hate Dark Fate. It was just kind of there.
Dark feminism.
I mean, I didn't care.
Man, I confused my kids. Like, we watched Terminator 1, Terminator 2, then went to Dark Fate, and then I went back to Genesis with them.
You purposely showed you. Hang on, mister.
Oh, yeah.
You purposely showed your kids the movies?
They might have seen them. Not on purpose. I might have told them to close their eyes.
Jesse, in the year of our Lord, 2023, you showed your adolescent boys boobies?
Boobaloobaloobies.
I would never show my kids boobies. I might talk about soaking. to their regret.
Oh no!
But I would never show them boobies.
But you would show them cum.
Oh my
No.
goodness.
Yeah, you had to explain what that scene in Jackass Forever was.
Oh, true. They have seen way too many penises,
Oh.
but never a boobie.
That's right.
Never a boobie.
Never a movie.
The Cybermen have awakened, by the way.
Oh.
If you're a Doctor Who fan, be ready.
I can see that.
I don't know
yeah.
what that is.
I know.
That's because you're
That's
not a man of great culture,
That's right.
such as Jesse and I.
Oh, I didn't know that Doctor Who was the fucking level.
I mean,
Once you reach there, you'll know.
you'll know. It's just because you haven't reached there that you just don't know.
Right.
I'll tell you what I do reach for.
He's
Uh-huh.
not.
uh,
Are you gonna reach? You should reach for your bookshelf in your sunroom.
That's Jesse in his manner.
go to your sunroom and sit down.
Jesse likes to sit in the chair, and sometimes bats fly in through the window and inspire him to fight crime.
How did you know what happened last weekend?
Is that why you don't podcast like only with Evan Bevins?
Yes,
You're-
it's only me and Evan playing Snap.
Because you're
On
out
air.
fighting crime in the streets of Gotham.
That's right. Hey, by the way, now you don't have to worry about the robots because the aliens are about to show up. Yeah.
Oh no!
That's right.
Aliens
That is
versus
a rough
robots.
day.
It's
the office,
gonna get
man.
crazy.
That's a fucking rough day at the office where you're like fighting the robot. You're like, oh no, it's aliens. Fuck.
You're like, all right, just kill me now. Go ahead.
We only have enough Chinese people.
There they
for
are.
this.
There's the Greys.
Could you imagine a war like between aliens and fucking robots with humans in the middle?
Oh,
Wouldn't last long for the humans.
Yeah, no.
Hey, look, the Jewish space laser.
Why'd that be Jewish?
Because that's the conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about this. I don't know about no conspiracy
So-
theory.
I
Yeah.
assume the aliens showed up and helped us against the robots. I think that's what happened at the end.
Okay, that's what happened to that story.
Listen,
That,
Chronodilus has an octopus robot in it. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's
Ooh,
not.
that-
It's not
That sounds
Matrix
like
level.
That sounds
not-
like some hentai frentai fun time.
It's
I
not
remember that
Matrix level.
podcast.
Yeah, you do. I talked to Sean. I was like, "Hey, we're quickly running out of Everyone Loves a Bad Guy, and I've got stuff. Like, I don't want to make pages for any of these things anymore. No one goes to our website anyway. There's just like it's at this point, it's just a hobby for me to not have to think about my horrible life. So like, I don't want to make any more pages out of scratch. Like he's like, it's fine. You can put up all of Robert's gay shows, and it'll be fine. And you won't have to make pages for it.
Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah, so coming soon on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, the Three Beards and the Hentai Friends
Oh,
One Time
God.
Writer podcast. Dude,
Oh, no.
so Chris Bailey called me the other day. He called me from Canada, okay, from the far reaches of Newfoundland.
Great White North. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got on his fucking polar bear phone and he was like, "Listen, Radulich, I recorded a podcast with 3 separate audio tracks," and then he was rambling about something, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to help you." But it reminded me of your Three Beards podcast where like you psychos would record everyone's individual audio and then try to edit it together. I was like, who the fuck has that kind of time?
What?
Yeah, we had a guy stitch in my audio from what ended up being pissing me off was there was a day they had 8 people on their side, me, and my audio was fucked up. So
Yeah,
they're like,
didn't they record for like a
Dude.
comic book store or some shit?
yeah. Kevin's dad had may God rest his soul. He passed away and they sold the comic book store, but they'd record his dad's comic book store. And then after a while, he just stopped talking to me and ghosted me.
Aw.
And then he started a new podcast and actually
Mhm.
brought me in for it. And then he ghosted the other guys from that podcast to restart it with other people.
You should reconstitute the Three Beards.
I should. You know what's even funnier though, just because I'm gonna be a dick. You know what? At least I didn't threaten my girlfriend with a pistol for breaking up with me.
I mean,
Woo.
I see his point.
It was because he was dating a friend of my friend, and she
Damn it, did I say the quiet part out loud again?
yeah she apparently she left town and didn't tell him because
That seems like something any female would do ever.
Talk
Well,
about ghosting.
she tried to break up. She tried to break up with him, and he got the fucking Walking Dead pistol out. So, I don't blame her on that one.
Even as passive aggressive and as jokey as I'm trying to be, I'm losing sympathy for this guy, and that's hard for me these days.
Yeah.
All right.
So Star Wars.
So back to Star Wars. Speaking of gay.
So low.
So Loki. GameSpot.com has a great list for us. I tried to find the longest list possible just to annoy Jesse. It's every Star Wars movie. I'm such a dick. Jesse's like, do you not believe in top 10s? Not even a little. Not after the last one annoyed you as much as it did. You're like,
what, all 140 Metallica songs?
Oh my god, Jesse's like fucked out of this podcast. He was like, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, you guys were still recording like the next morning.
Next morning, we were recording the next week.
I was in my car driving to work. And another thing about Metallica. All right, so I keep going to the wrong tab. All right, every Star Wars movie and TV show ranked from A New Hope to Andor. All righty. And at number 27, only 27 this time, Jesse.
The Ewok Adventures. Yeah, I think I can.
Can Evan Bevins wait? Oh, fuck. Can Evan Bevins just wait a little bit for you to stop this, for you to get through this list?
I can play Snap and talk to you guys at the same time.
Evan Bevins.
You can call me a dick anytime you want, Jesse, for being.
I am. I just keep muting myself.
All right, so I accidentally closed one of the tabs I shouldn't have. The Ewok.
Great podcasting, guys.
The Ewok Adventure. So I remember these. I remember the little girl right there, and we crashed. Oh, we crashed. These were the TV specials. These were pretty good. They weren't going to win any awards or fucking anything, but they were like good, fun little shows for for kids back in the day. If you were still trying to find some Star Wars material. What'd you think, Jess?
I barely remember this. Barely.
I
remember the Wilfred Brimley one, which I think is probably going to be on here. I assume because that's different, right? Look at Coop. Coop's like, what the hell are you talking about?
What?
Yeah, get ready. It's on here, I'm pretty sure.
Star Wars and oatmeal, and it was crazy.
And it might have been this. I don't know. I can't remember because it says a pair of TV movies.
All right, the book of look at that. Look at it.
Barely made it.
How the
and what they say
25?
And what they I guess they missed one.
Either that or they're counting both Ewok specials as 26
they are
27. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
I gotta read the caption here. Hang on, I gotta read the caption. The Book of Boba Fett. There were a couple of decent episodes in that first season, like the one Boba Fett wasn't in. But otherwise, the Book of Boba Fett was like a vision of what Star Wars would look like on the CW.
Yeah, and that's very much how it like when I look back, I was like, that did feel like a CW show. Holy shit!
Here's the problem, like I have seen some quality CW shows. Like there's some seasons of The Flash that I would put up against any pop culture TV. I think they're great. I think they're very well written. Dude, Jesse and I did nothing but fucking rave and like jerk off fucking Legends of Tomorrow. That one episode about Elvis where I practically broke into tears. It was so good. Yep. Like there's quality TV on the CW, and then there's some hot garbage. And the Book of Boba Fett resembles more of that. All right, next one. Ewoks, the cartoon. Am I the only one that watched this as a kid?
Yeah, you're probably that one in that meme where
Nick watched it, but I didn't.
Okay, well, Nick's not here. Stop talking about people that aren't here, Chris Bailey.
Ewoks.
Are you there, Jesus?
So one of the, if you had a chance to check out our auction coverage, Mark Radulich.
Oh my God.
Where Chris Bailey and I looked at these figures and watched this auction happen. I actually I downloaded in real time as the auction was going on. Anyway, the figures for the Ewoks cartoon series that these ladies had, they had the action figures, and those went for insane prices.
Did they really?
Yeah, we're talking thousands of dollars here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was, and I'm not just talking about each individual figure because they had the whole damn set. So, and then there were some figures from droids as well, which went for really, really high amounts.
Coming in at number 23, droids. Droids had a comic book too, had a cartoon and a comic. Apparently, like they were I've never seen the appeal of C-3PO and R2-D2 beyond like part of the ensemble. So like the fact, like I remember watching this as a kid, and I'm like, I remember like I'm a kid, so I should watch this. This is fun. I like Star Wars. And then after a couple of episodes of Droids, I'm like, I don't fucking care about C-3PO and R2-D2. I just don't give a shit. I was a little fucking kid in the 80s. Okay, so from 1984 till 1989, 13, and like I just don't fucking care.
One of my earliest memories, though, was of a book that came with a record about like an adventure of C-3PO and R2-D2. I can't.
Did you get the bird and stick it on there? So it fucking play?
You remember those little those little Fisher Price record players, if I remember right. But anyway, this was an actual, I'm pretty sure, like legit record. And you could sit there and listen to it as you watch, read the book along with it. But yeah, as for the cartoon here, Droids, nah.
All right, I feel fucking vindicated. Wow. I feel seen.
Number 22.
I feel seen. I feel heard, and I just want Chris Bailey to give me a blowjob.
Is the word Mary Sue written in this paragraph anywhere? I'm
gonna email him this when I put this show up. I'm totally fucking linking him. Like, I need you to listen to this show and hear how many times I fucking call your name like a jilted lover.
You're like, nothing else matters, Chris Bailey.
Zing. The Rise of Skywalker, number 22. All 3 Disney sequels were terrible. I love this. In their own ways, but The Rise of Skywalker managed to achieve a new level of egregious thoughtlessness. We're talking about a movie where they literally resurrected the Emperor off screen, and neither of the previous 2 movies had foreshadowed that in any way. It's the nadir of Star Wars. That's hilarious. Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker is a giant piece of horseshit. It's terrible.
I think it doesn't help the fact that because I think I was watching something talking actually about how J.J. Abrams is really good at starting things and never good at finishing. But the fact that
so says his wife.
Hey, hello, Natalia.
Hello, Natalia.
But the fact they threw Rian Johnson in the middle and they didn't have a game plan. Like, so you're doing a fucking trilogy.
That came up,
right?
It's come up thousands of times, but it came up very recently on Damn You Hollywood, where like they needed a showrunner. Like, you can get like the Captain America movies all have different directors. The Thor movies all have different directors, but throughout the entire length and breadth of the Infinity Saga had different directors, and you always had a showrunner. They ran the Infinity Saga like a television show, and every movie was an episode of television, and not every episode of television is always directed by the same person either, as Jesse will tell us when we cover the David Simon stuff. There's all kinds of different directors in those things, but there's always a showrunner. There's always an executive producer going, no. You can't suddenly have Avon Barksdale get kidnapped by the Ravagers and taken to nowhere. That was a joke from last night's show, by the way, or the other night's show. It was Marlowe, but Avon sounds better. Anyway, you can't. You have to abide by the overall story structure. And the problem with Star Wars and DC was no one had that kind of forethought, which you would think would be obvious. It's not like Warner Brothers and Disney don't make fucking television shows, but it's like they treat it. It's like, oh, we're making movies here, pal. Okay, but the way that Marvel was successful was they treated the movies like they were television shows, and that seems to escape everyone. And it's the most maddening, most common sense thing ever.
And I feel like what really worked, especially because DC's case, is the fact that Marvel was kind of feeding you little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Like letting you taste test, get an idea of the characters before you mash them together.
Oh, look, there's Thanos on the toilet. All right, cut away. Things like that.
Like, yeah, that was my problem. That was my fucking problem with Justice League. But kind of the same issue that the sequel trilogy had was that it was almost just like 3 totally, well, the first one and the second one were somewhat related, but 2 and 3 were just like wild gulf.
The sequel trilogy comes across like that icebreaker acting game where you go and then. So it's like I start a story and then Jesse comes in and he, and it doesn't matter if it matches or not. It's just you're just telling the next part of your story, and then somebody else tells their part of the story, and you just keep going around and around. And you're not beholden to keep to any kind of story structure. You can just say whatever. It's like I start a story. Once upon a time, there was a prince and a princess, and they loved each other very much. And then Jesse comes, and then the dam broke. You're like, wait, what? You know, like
and suddenly the Emperor somehow returned,
right, with a zillion spaceships that he got from his ass. You know,
his ass is a bag of holding.
It's always one. Jesse, stop playing Snap for a minute and weigh in here on Rise of Skywalker and how terrible it is.
It wasn't. I remember watching it, and this again didn't go to the theaters to watch that. Wow,
this
Star Wars Holiday. This beats that.
This is what I meant by this.
I'm in agreement, though.
This is a very brave list.
You cannot be in agreement.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not my supervisor.
You are
not yet.
There is no way that Star Wars Holiday Special is better than
the Star Wars Holiday Special has brought more people joy than Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, how many movies? I mean, look at the Star Wars Holiday Special. You could see Carrie Fisher's coke nail. Look at the Rise of Skywalker. She dead.
She's dead
because the coke nail. Like,
poor woman. Mental health matters.
May she rest in spaghetti, never forgetty.
Okay, so I insist that Jesse talk, and then I move on to the next subject midway through. And now Jesse feels like he has a lot to say. So go ahead, Jesse.
Well, I was just going to say that this is what other part of Star Wars has been made fun of more than the Star Wars Holiday Special? There's nothing.
The sequel trilogy.
You could get mad about it.
And people do.
But you can't get, I mean, this is just like, this was just so out there, so diverse from what we were getting.
It was a product of its time.
Or I should say, what we were getting. This was in between Star Wars and Empire, correct?
Uh-huh.
Is that so really this didn't have much to go on other than just like, hey, I got an idea. Star Wars is part of pop culture now. Let's just make it part of pop culture and throw everything at it.
I mean, yeah, it's more or less. Didn't they just make a Star Wars? They just like, hey, Star Wars is big with the kids. Let's give it its own variety show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And do it around Christmas time because people love Christmas. I think this should be
Life Day.
I frankly think this should be number 4 on the list.
Yeah, you would.
Hot take.
Yeah. Passive aggressive Mark over here making fucked up decisions once again.
Speaking of fucked up decisions, how about a guy fucking a droid?
Solo.
I actually like Solo a lot.
I don't hate it.
And I'll be honest in terms of like this is probably one of my it probably is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies.
Really?
I think it's not.
That's a wrong opinion.
Thank you. I guess for me, perhaps is not as much the film itself, but what it represents.
What does it represent? Like fucking droids?
Oh, you remember Han Solo? Oh, I remember. Oh, let's see how every single thing he ever fucking did in any of the movies.
Origin of Han Solo's boots.
And the fucking fuzzy dice and the life debt and it very much just
it's an origin story though. I mean, you've got this. That's the whole point, is to give you like the origin of this stuff.
Yeah, but it didn't come off to me as it very much came off to me as here's an origin story of this character you like a lot. Let's just kind of ride off it. Let's just coast off that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Here, I like Solo because I like it's essentially a train heist. It's a train robbery.
Right.
I like that about it.
Yeah.
There's other stuff that's utterly stupid about it. Like here's how Han Solo got his gun, and here's how Han Solo got his belt, and here's how Han Solo got his vest. And, oh my god!
And here is Darth Maul swinging a lightsaber in a hologram.
Yeah, I mean, it is half everything I hate about Star Wars and half a fun movie that I like. And that's kind of for me a lot of Star Wars right now. It's like there's some good stuff in here surrounded by a lot of what people think people like about Star Wars and like miss the point entirely.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, perhaps I didn't hate the movie as much as I just hate what it represents.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just thinking because like that's really most of my problems are just what it's fucking Disney corporate baloney meat.
All right, Jesse. Resistance. I didn't watch this piece of garbage.
I didn't even know it existed.
Oh, good.
I hated that animation style as soon as I saw it.
Have you watched any of the show?
Negative.
All right. So this is the prequel to Force Awakens. Is that what this is? Okay. I don't care about this. Moving on. And it should be lower on the list. The Bad Batch.
I've heard good stuff about this show. I haven't watched any.
I think I was gonna watch it and review it with Alexis, and then we just ran out of time, and then I got social, so I never watched this. I don't know if it's any good or not.
I watched a couple episodes and liked it well enough, but not having seen where they are spun off from. Like I've seen some of the Clone Wars 3D show, but not enough to really know these characters.
See, I wish Andrew Graham were here because like he's a big Star Wars fan. He watched, I think, like he's been trying to get me to review the Clone Wars for years now. The Kelsey was kind of twisting my arm the other day, like, oh my god, you never watched the Clone Wars? Yeah, I have to go to a job and work.
How many seasons? I mean, there's like
about a million.
7 or 8.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they're like 20 something episodes a piece, I think.
Yeah, like that went on for fucking ever, that show. I don't have time. I do not have time to sit and watch this show for children. I have naked trivia to do.
It's just because it's animated. Don't throw that boot at it. That's
I don't have time for. I spill my shirt. I don't have time for.
My mouth is next.
I hope. I don't know.
And Jesse's in between us.
Yeah.
Hope you
uncomfortably. Jesse's the meat in a Market Robert sandwich.
Get me out of here.
Hey Jesse, ever hear?
You like mayonnaise?
Hey Jesse, ever hear consensual, non-consensual?
Fantastic.
Let's just move on.
Please. 17.
Obi-Wan Shitobi.
Man, there was a lot of promise for this. A lot of people wanted to see this thing succeed.
Excited about this is yet another. I think I'm in an abusive relationship with Star Wars. Is the problem? Okay.
Speaking of
you'll go back to it too. Don't worry.
Speaking of pork, oh shit!
I fucking hate you. Oh, that hurts.
Oh shit!
Oh,
shots fired. Got an APB.
She'll be tickled to know that you think that her is Star Wars. You fucking asshole. Sorry, I get you like 100 to 1. The one I'm gonna be like, it's not right. No, well said. Anyway, yeah, so I'm in an abusive relationship with Star Wars. Star Wars is this narcissistic woman who like treats me badly and tells me it's gonna be better, and like, look, Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's gonna be great. You're gonna see, Ewan McGregor is back, Darth Vader, and at the end of it, they're throwing mountains at each other. It's like, oh god, you fucking lied to me yet again. You fooled me yet again, and I can't do it anymore. Obi-Wan Kenobi broke me.
Yeah.
For me, when I look,
I'm laughing because you both are just like, yar.
Yeah. I think honestly, Obi-Wan Kenobi is like
a polyamorous woman.
No,
I'm sorry.
Like
that was a joke.
It's very much kind of like how I was mentioning with Solo. A lot of it was just kind of coasting off the fact that it has these characters that you know and love, and that's why you're going to know and love it, because we have what you know and love. Like I didn't need to see 8-year-old Leia Organa trying to run away from bounty hunters like they were like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get you, and then watch them run around. Like, I mean, was it cool to see 8-year-old intelligent, like, very knows what she's doing 8-year-old, like, cool.
Yeah,
that was nice. I didn't need it.
I've met 8-year-olds. They don't act like that.
Well, yeah, but
I think Jesse can attest to this too. Most 8-year-olds are mildly retarded.
Well, yeah, because they're children. But
I just nodding quietly. It's like he's not wrong, but I'm not saying that on the air.
It's just one of those. I didn't really feel like it was needed in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Reva character, while decently acted.
I mean, America Chavez. I mean, Yelena. I mean, fucking Kate Bishop. I mean, this just goes on and on. I'm so sick of the bait and switch where it's like, here, come for the Obi-Wan Kenobi, stay for the busy businesswoman who don't need no man. Nope.
It was. I just didn't really love her character, and I also kind of felt like they did other things with already pre-established characters, like the Grand Inquisitor, who's pretty fucking cool.
Right.
He was just kind of there, so they could be like, remember Grand Inquisitor? Love us, fans. Love us. Same with Cad Bane and fucking Book of Boba Fett. They just shove him in there, do what they will within 10 minutes.
Wait, do you see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and you see what they did with Adam Warlock?
I didn't love that.
Oh, you seen it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Did Jesse see it?
Nope. I've not seen it
Jesse,
yet.
you're a longtime comic book reader, right?
Yep.
You ever read the Infinity Watch?
Yeah, I've read some of it. Yes, I
Yeah,
know. I know an Adam Warlock.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you won't in this film.
That's that's unfortunate.
He's a childlike mama's boy with an IQ of 70.
He's Bane from Batman and Robin. He's Jojo the Monkey Boy.
What?
Yeah. He's very dumb.
Dude,
very childish.
Way outside of, I mean, unless there's some comics I'm missing, but gosh.
Did you see the comic series where they hit fucking Adam Warlock over the head and he was mildly retarded?
Listen, we know a guy that does an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast.
Yeah,
all right, and I've listened to most of them, and I don't recall that ever happening.
Tell fucking Al Sedano, do not see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Wait for the no Warlock cut.
Oh,
All right, so back to Star Wars.
You won't know anything. You won't miss it.
I mean, I don't know. It's 17 on the list. I got to see what's ahead of it. Because some of the stuff I have to be reminded of. But there were some things about Obi-Wan Kenobi that I liked. There were some things I thought were mad stupid, and then there were things I just flat out did not like. The Reva, any of the Reva stuff, only because like they tried to make her the focal character and not Obi-Wan Kenobi in the name of the fucking show, and I hate that. That's just it's a trend in Hollywood now, and it sucks. And then the stuff I thought was stupid was like the Force used to just be this thing that, you know, you used it to kind of amplify your abilities. By the time you get to this point where no one understands what the Force is that's writing about it, and that they're able to throw mountains at each other, I'm like, you have lost the fucking point. Because if you can do that, why didn't you do it before? Why isn't Darth Vader? There should have never been a rebellion. Darth Vader should have known where they are and just Force choked every single one of them if he's that powerful. It's
Force choke. He should have exploded their heads.
Yeah, really. Like
he should have scanners them.
Well, I was gonna say, like, hey, we found we didn't need the Death Star. Hey, but Darth, we found the rebels. They're on Yavin. They are okay. Thanos, fucking Infinity Stoned. Like that's how powerful they made the Force, and it's the dumbest thing ever.
It's whatever they want it to be.
If I promise not to move the screen, will you comment on this?
I don't have anything to say about Obi-Wan.
I'm going to move the screen then.
It's like the sonic screwdriver.
All right, The Force Awakens, number 16.
I get that reference. He doesn't.
J.J. Abrams' first bad Star Wars movie had the exact opposite problem of the prequels had. It nails the aesthetic of Star Wars, but its storytelling is as thoroughly incompetent as it could have been. Remember the Rathar scene? No, that's what I thought. Yeah, this movie is worse than you think. Okay, it's a little harsh.
We haven't touched The Last Jedi yet, so I disagree.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, if I'm like comparing Force Awakens to Last Jedi, which now we know is going to be above here, I don't know. I kind of like the Force Awakens a little bit better than the Last Jedi. So, I mean, but here's the thing: I know all the arguments to hate it. Like, you know, oh, it's just a rehash of A New Hope. Okay,
it's a legitimate criticism.
Well, okay, but I've made it sound like a dummy saying it. So that, but look,
you win.
I still enjoy the movie. I still, it's a good way of bringing things back.
If you've never seen anything Star Wars, like if I showed it to my kids and they could tolerate Star Wars for more than an hour, which they can't seem to. It's the weirdest thing. Like you would think, because it's not like I don't bring them to the fucking movies all the time, and like for some odd reason, there's like.
Cinema's going to change in 20 years. Fucking movies are going to be 6 minutes long. Thank you, TikTok.
Yeah.
That's how I prefer mine.
Movies are going to be on TikTok.
I hear you, Coop.
And I'm going to be a zillionaire.
Me and Paul Rubens.
All right.
That is the second time that's come up this week.
I'll bet it has, big boy. All righty. Star Wars Rebels number 15. I never fucking watched this.
Yeah, same. And I've heard good things too.
Yay, Thrawn.
Oh, all right. Boy. Number 14. Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
So this is where I learned that George Lucas was autistic and doesn't understand how humans work. Because I'm, look, I would not tell you that I'm the most most understanding of the romantic ways of people, but then there's George Lucas who, like, women listen to that dial. I have a girlfriend now again, and she apparently has seen Attack of the Clones, and she's like a big reader of romance novels, and she heard the dialogue, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. This is a person who reads romance novels and heard this shit coming out of Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman's mouth in Italy, wherever the fuck in Space Italy, where they're in Space Venice, and she's just like, this is the worst written thing I've ever heard. Like, she's coming at that independently. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, she's not a Star Wars fan. She doesn't hate Star Wars. She's like, I'm just watching a movie because I was told this is a good movie. And she heard that, like, this was written by a fucking child. This is dumb. Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
The sand, it's coarse. I hate it.
It gets
killed them all.
My son hates the beach. He has uttered much the same thing. It gets everywhere.
Yeah. It does. You know what? It's one of the thing that is actually kind of interesting now that everybody just hates the sequel trilogy is that now that everybody hates the sequel trilogy, they've actually kind of reevaluated.
Yeah,
and in some ways propped
everyone looks at the prequel trilogy like, this can't get any worse.
Yeah, like they've definitely reevaluated and propped some of it up, which I mean, fair, especially if you look at it. Hey, porgs, especially if you look at it as a political thing rather than action movie.
Jesse's been waiting the entire podcast to give The Last Jedi a fucking kick in the balls. So go ahead, Jesse.
No, I like The Last Jedi. I seriously enjoyed watching this one in the theaters. This is it was definitely a different take. I think it's Coop that's waiting to kick it in the balls. Go ahead, Coop, kick it in the balls.
I mean, I saw it 3 times in 2 weeks in theaters. And like, yeah, it's some of just what I mentioned earlier is that I felt like there were a lot of things that were either hinted or set up either in the previous movie or this movie that either went nowhere or became nothing. Like Supreme Leader Snoke. Hey, that guy's fucking cool. Man, I can't wait to learn more about him. We know absolutely 0 things about him. He gets murked halfway through the movie. Spoilers. They put a larger emphasis on Rose Tico. So that actress gets flamed to hell. Everybody bitches. She's persona non grata in the next movie. There's a kid that's
persona non grata in Hollywood right now.
And I still remember at the end of that scene as well with that whole fucking goofy ass casino shit. With the kid in like the little slaver pit, and they kind of hint that he's got the force going on, and he's kind of picks up the broom a little, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that goes nowhere. Not to mention, even Mark Hamill has said that's not my Luke Skywalker. That's maybe like Fred Skywalker. That's a similar guy, but he's not Luke.
So I have been known in the years that I've been reviewing movies to be a little negative.
Same.
Okay.
I was called a sunny pessimist one day.
Yeah. I have been known to be, to a little schadenfreude, a little, rooting for things to fail at times. And I'm like the positive one on that show. But, I'm usually not that way. But there's the occasional times where I just lose my patience with things. And I'm like, I hope, something says something that's ultimately not good or, very bad for the product. And I go, yeah, I hope that happens. I'm known to do that. The Last Jedi is like the movie that I hope happens when I hate something. like, let me think of all the ways I could piss off a fan base and ruin a product, and that's The Last Jedi. And weirdly, I still love it because of that.
Because it fulfilled your dreams.
Yeah.
You're like, finally, I have something I can point at and go, this.
Look, God listened. Finally.
And there is good in it.
Hang on, I think Jesse wants to yell at me.
No, I'm not going to yell at you. I can say that I love hearing people gripe about this movie.
I'm not griping. That's a problem.
Well, right. I'm with you. I like hearing people get upset about it because it's like, oh my gosh, how dare you do this to this franchise? And it's like, look, it entertained me. I'm not going to complain about it. I had a good time watching it. And I thought that I feel like there is a lot of unanswered, or I should say things that were never followed up on.
Mhm.
But I wondered how much of that was just like, oh, hey, Rian Johnson screwed everything up for us. Let's try and sweep all that under the rug.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know.
All right, let's move on. Go ahead, Coop.
I think with it, it's not the fact that I don't feel like, oh, you've ruined Star Wars. It's just there's so much wasted potential.
Okay.
That's what frustrates me is the
Yeah.
fact that they, like, I like The Force Awakens. Fuck, if they want to go ape fucking ape Empire Strikes Back, whatever. But I feel like they had so much potential and had so many things that they could have done that they either did wrong or just never followed up on. And it's more of a just wasting potential that they had. And now this is canon. we had a perfectly good canon, guys. I'm just saying.
I will say this before I finally left my abusive wife that is Star Wars.
Oh,
okay. So it's an analogy. It's an analogy. I'm doing a metaphor. Okay. So so I'm in this abusive relationship with Star Wars, right? And I finally get out of my toxic narcissistic relationship with this thing. And I leave it. Before that, though, like the last hope, like the last time Star Wars said to me, "I'm going to be different this time. I'm going to change. I'm gonna do the things for you so that you'll stay." Okay. And I go, "Okay, what are you going to do to make me stay? What are you going to do to convince me that you're changed, that you're different this time?" The Force Awakens. Oh shit! I'm excited now. You look different. You look like things are gonna. It looks like things are going to be better. By the time we get through The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then Rise of Skywalker, it's like, nope, you've hurt me worse than you ever have before. I can't believe how bad this is. And that's the thing. Like I'm half doing passive aggressive and half doing a metaphor about actual Star Wars. But but the reality was I went into The Force Awakens with so much joy and glee and hope. And I was super excited. Like I remember buying tickets for it and traveling and like going with my friend and like buying a t-shirt for it and everything. And like just having this like wild experience. Hang on, I gotta give me 1 second. Go ahead.
I did the same. Actually, like me and the guys got there at 6:30 for a 9:00 showing because we were like, there's going to be a huge line.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't. I mean, there was a little bit of a line, but not really. And it was hype, and I really did love the fucking Force Awakens, and I was jazzed coming into it and leaving it. I was like, that was pretty fucking good. And then we went to Steak and Shake, which we just found out got closed down.
Oh, like permanently, or because somebody sold deer meat out the back or something?
Oh well, I mean, let's just say they had some plywood on some windows. So yeah.
Oh man, I think the most hype that I remember for Star Wars was the prequel trilogy. Like I can remember I was in college, so we were all talking about it in '99, but I know that people were excited about this, the sequel trilogy. And I think the most hype I'd heard about it was when they were rolling out the first film. But after that, I mean, which by the way, you guys mentioned, I didn't go see that in the theaters, but I did watch a cam. Does that count? Because I remember seeing somebody get up and walk in front of the.
They went to the.
I'm not here to kink shame. You watch all the cams you want, Jesse.
Okay,
I'm just saying, maybe share that with your wife. Don't get caught.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Good words for a pirate. The naked one too.
Hey,
naked pirates. What
naked
are you
pirate
talking
party. Woo!
There was a really interesting video that I saw, by the way, on the marketing push behind the Phantom Menace that I gotta find and send to you. Like it was fucking crazy. I didn't remember it being that vast.
I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken at the time, and I'm pretty certain that we had some toys going into the kids meals for that. And I know we had an R2D2 big, like the cooler that held all the big slams. I don't know if you remember Big Slams, Mountain Dew Big Slams.
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Jesse said Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I stopped listening to him. I just pictured him with a bucket of chicken on his like pelvis. Like, how many times did Jesse tell someone to reach in there for a drumstick?
Keep digging. Keep digging. Keep digging.
Oh, you got my leg.
Is that a wing?
Just got all the girls.
Go find the other white meat.
Let me tell you about that chicken grease.
Alrighty, moving on.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Jesse's penis.
Oh, well, maybe.
I liked Revenge of the Sith. I know people have commented on the sword fight going, you've missed the point of fucking sword fights with this thing. Like sword fights are not just clanging swords together. But I don't know. This is one of my non-film snobby moments where like I get why A New Hope's lightsaber fight is the best one because of the context. But and in as far as these you guys just try to kill each other in the middle of lava, it just looks cool. And I have my gonzo porno, like it just looks cool, I like it moments, and this is one of them. And I can't help myself, and I feel dirty. Yeah, the naked trivia doesn't make me feel dirty or anything else that I do, but the fact that I like a lightsaber fight makes me feel dirty. I'm dumb.
Because nobody judges you for naked trivia.
It's true. Yeah, this gets me a lot of judgment.
Other than, the fact that you probably most likely will lose, but there's your judgment coming at you.
Hey, we did normal clothes trivia on Tuesday instead, and we were bordering around 5th, 4th place most of the night. Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, my wife and I make a good team because like we fill in gaps that the other one doesn't know.
Naked trivia.
Naked therapy. Yeah, that too. And so like there's stuff that she has no clue on, and she didn't know ACDC, and like, oh, I know that one. There were certain things where it's just like I don't know what this is. And then there were other stuff like there was like name this tune, and it's like fucking Will I Am. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And she's like, I'm cultured in the 90s and 2000s.
Nice.
Terrific. Anyway, I was like, oh, the butthole. I'm like, okay, but that was the kind of trivia it was.
But yeah, like I did enjoy like Revenge of the Sith. And you know what is very very impressive is that about that sword fight is that is them going that fast.
Yeah. I hate to beat up on it, and I should as like a film critic, but as someone who's like, I like pretty stuff. Like, it's a cool sword fight. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good parts, there's some bad parts. It's a very engaging film, I feel. I think it needed a rewrite. Like, I think instead of letting George Lucas and his autistic self writing these movies, like he writes a draft and they're like, okay, go away, you fucking child. Now let an adult fix this. Because the idea of Anakin goes to the dark side because he's trying to learn the ways he won't learn by being a Jedi to resurrect his wife that may die, I actually think is a good motivator. I think like the idea of like, I'm not getting what I need out of being a Jedi, so I'm going to learn the ways of the Sith because I don't have a moral objection to these powers that the Jedi do. And I think that's an interesting thing about Anakin. And in a better writer's hands, that's a better told story. Yeah, that's fair.
All right, the Clone Wars. Everyone loves the Clone Wars. We were talking about this earlier. I keep being told by Andrew and all them, like, well, watch the Clone Wars, review the Clone Wars, and I don't have 97 hours to fucking dedicate to this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, unfortunately.
I've been trying to get into it. I think part of what just kind of I guess deters me from it is the fact that I know where it all ends. So like ends in a lava sword fight. Well, no, just like the dramatic tension of it all was like, I know these characters are going to be fine because they still have to get through the Revenge of the Sith. So it's one of those, it's like, but at the same time, hey, it's cool adventures with the friends, Anakin and friends. So hey, you can do shit. I mean, it was a well-written show. The Mandalorian, we talked about this earlier. First 2 seasons are great. Third season is pile of shit. If you look at the blurb, it's actually quite funny. They compare it to Hercules and Xena.
Nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I would put it higher than 10, like because I greatly enjoy what they do with it. Well, I would put Rogue One higher than 9 because I know what comes after this. Yeah. Rogue One probably needs to be like not kidding about the Star Wars the holiday special. Probably needed to be 4, don't you think? Like Rogue One's like one of the best movies in the whole goddamn series.
It's really good. I'm just looking at this still photo, and I'm sitting here thinking like you don't get a good Star Wars movie that is just out, just like you said, it's outside of the whole Luke Skywalker range of things.
Here's what needs to be
it.
said. Yeah, here's what needs to be said. The last time you saw Darth Vader, he was going, no, not the mama. You know, it was ridiculous.
Not the mama.
Everyone laughed at him like, and then next time you see Darth Vader, he's tearing through fucking rebels in Rogue One.
Right. Right.
And I remember the Red Letter Media guys just like laughing about that. They were like, this was Star Wars fan fiction in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, that does make a lot of sense when you put it that way, because I never thought of it. But like, I remember when I saw that scene, I was just like, this is how he should, like, you know, if you want to amp up the physicality versus the original trilogy using modern effects, this is how he should have been. This is why he's so fucking scary.
Right. But I watch that hallway scene and then watch the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you'll understand my frustration with like power set. You know, power. Yeah. What is with Jesse the term where like every time you turn around, they're raising the power level?
Power creep.
Yeah, like the power creep in Star Wars is ridiculous. He should not have been any more powerful than he is in Rogue One. Once you get to where he is in Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's the dumb. And that's what kills me about this. It's just like he's like a fucking slasher monster. You know, like he's fucking Jason Voorhees or some shit, or you know, Michael Myers coming at these guys. That is a legitimately fucking scary scene.
And that's the way it needed to be carried.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, because he would have been the most feared person in the galaxy at that point. Just the tales of what he's done to people and how he took care of things.
Not for nothing, but like, and I don't mean to be a weenie about this, but I'm in the theater and like the way they shot that, like he's just coming out of the screen like, I'm killing everybody, like not me, Darth Vader. Like, like it is legitimately scary.
You know, it's actually really interesting. So I finished Jedi Fallen Order, I think last year, because I was really hyped for the new one.
Mm-hmm.
So spoilers for the game, but at the end of it, Darth Vader's chasing your ass. You can't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's very similar to this, to where it's just like he's the boogeyman.
Yeah,
like everybody's terrified of him. Everybody kind of you know, they speak about him in whispers.
One of the things we didn't talk about was like Star Wars roller coasters and theme park rides and stuff like that. And so like one of the earliest ones is Star Tours. And the beginning of Star Tours, Darth Vader fucking like force grabs your ship. It's fucking scary as shit. You're like you're starting to like take off, like, okay, we're going on this vacation. Oh shit, here comes the Empire. Oh my god, there's Darth Vader. Like, you know, like you're fighting out of Darth Vader's grip and everything. It's fucking scary as shit. And I remember, I think it's the game I keep calling Dark Trooper, but it's something else.
Dark Forces?
Maybe Dark Forces. And Darth Vader's at the beginning of that too, and he kicks the living shit out of you. It's awful. It's amazing, but it's awful. Yeah, Rogue One needed to be higher. I don't have a major problem with a lot on this list, but some stuff I think is like misplaced.
There's your boy,
Misa.
Misa, Musa, Mickey Mouse. All right, you fucking children. You can talk about Phantom Menace. I have said all I'm going to say about this movie.
Oh, I mean, it essentially, like, I don't know if I could ever watch a movie in the theater with my stepdad anymore.
I love how this ruined your relationship with your stepdad.
No, we went and saw Avengers together. We went and saw Star Trek, the reboot. So you know, it didn't damage us that bad. But yeah, Star Wars was never in our vocabulary again.
Time.
It did. We had to talk. Therapy was involved. It was something.
Show us on the dot where the Star Wars hurt you.
But yeah, like Coop and I were talking about here, the hype for the Phantom Menace was off the chain when it started. And just all the stuff that was going on at that point in time. There were plenty of lines. I remember people talking about going to go watch at the small theater in Athens where I was going to college. And yeah, there was a lot of people. And man, it's kind of commonplace now, but I'd never seen people dressing up for a movie until this movie.
Sure. Early on in my marriage, Melissa and I went to a Star Wars convention, and like, I've been to comic book conventions. I've seen some cosplays, but I don't think I'd ever seen this much Star Wars concentrated in one place. Like, the people with their like fucking decked out Mandalorian armor and stuff.
Right,
like,
dude.
People put some time and care into this shit. Like, they really go all out.
Yeah.
And it's like, in all seriousness, because I've done a lot of snarky jokes tonight. Just even it's a lot even for me, but I'm in a mood tonight, so I'm in a good mood. But I'm in a mood. I'm in a fucking suck it mood. But
hey,
yeah, I'm in a want to fight mood. But if I can be serious for just a moment, like there is like a lot of still like crazy dedicated religious love of this IP, and a lot of people like there's me who like is like a lapsed Catholic. Like I've just fucking walked away. Like I can't do this anymore. But there are people who like I still love it. Like the new stuff sucks. Everything since Disney fucking bought the thing sucks. But I still love Star Wars. Like, and that's I think where I differentiate myself. Like there are people who are like, I don't need to watch any of the new stuff, but I still love the books and I still love the video games. And I want to dress up like the characters and I want to live in this world. And I'm like, I hate everything about this and everyone in it. You know, like that's how mad this thing has made me. But I get it, and I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like I get why it's like people who like the Harry Potter world, the Lord of the Rings. Like you just find your place in the world and you go like, that's my happy place. That's where I want to be, and I can't take that away from people.
Yeah, it's like when I was looking into because I was like, I want to start reading about start reading some of the old books. Where do you start? And someone was like, well, you just find an era that you want to know about and just you start going, because it's such a vast there's such a vast amount of media for you to consume. You can you pick what you like and just go for it.
Yep,
and you'll be fine.
But that person's wrong. You need to read Heir to the Empire first. Well,
yeah, that's where I've started. I'm listening to the audiobook illegally.
Fucking pirates on this show.
Yarg. But like the Phantom Menace, like, you know, looking back at it, I think it is aged better once you get past the hype and then get to revisit it after looking at the new hype, if you will. Putting it at number 8, I think, is just edgy.
Okay. I don't know what Tales of the Jedi is. Not clear.
It's Jedi Count Dooku, and then and then you get Ahsoka Tano origin story stuff.
Okay. There was a Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon. Oh, that's what we were talking about before.
Yeah. The interesting thing is it's 2-minute it's like 2-minute micro episodes.
Like I remember there was one with like Yoda like just killing a whole bunch of fucking robots and shit. That's pretty cool.
I was wondering if this was going to make the list. I didn't know if Visions was actually going to be on there or not. I've never watched this, but it sounds like the more interesting animated series that I would actually check out.
You know, my kids just love everything anime, and even they tuned out of Visions.
Really? And I've heard bad things about it too.
They were like, "Fuck this show," and we were like, "My Hero Academia fans."
Oh boy!
I mean, I enjoyed My Hero Academia, but I think looking at Visions, it's very much like a lot of your anthology. Anthologies are definitely a big thing with, especially with anime. When you look at it, a lot of times as a whole, you're not always going to get a bunch of bangers. A lot of times it's the sum of the parts. Do I think Visions is necessarily number 5 good? No. Like, not all of the shorts that I saw, like, not all of those resonated with me, but there's some interesting ideas. If this person thinks that it was fucking great, whatever.
Yeah. They reimagine existing Star Wars. What did it say? Existing Star Wars ideas?
Yeah, like you know, your classic let's go and put Star Wars shit with feudal Japan. Okay. Like, you know, that sort of idea. Like some of it just recontextualizing it as if.
Okay. Well,
right.
Okay, hold up. We're at number 4.
Yep.
And we have not seen any of the original 3, correct?
Right, and we still haven't seen. We got the Phantom Menace, we got The Last Jedi in there, we got Rise of Skywalker, so the whole sequel trilogy is done. We got Rogue One, we got Solo, and now we're out of Star Wars movies. So it's Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope. What are we missing?
Coop knows too. Look at him smiling, the motherfucker.
I looked at the list beforehand.
Yeah, I know. Shit. I'm trying to think. It's probably something fucking obvious, isn't it, Coop? Is it obvious or is it something stupid?
Oh, it's Andor.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Okay. All
right. So, Jesse, I know you like to play little pinch and squeal guessing games. So, Return of the Jedi, Andor, A New Hope, Empire.
Squeal. Okay, in what fucking world? Let's just stop for a second.
Oh,
and try to
Jesus
figure out what the fuck a pinch and squeal guessing game is.
That's like a little tickle sack guessing game, like
Little pinch and squeal guessing game.
little tickle the butthole guessing game.
Okay, go ahead. What was your question again?
What the fuck? See, I thought you were saying pinch and squeal like it's like a child, like you pinch it, you fuck with the girl you got a crush on. Nah, Mark's over here.
I don't know.
He's like, I'm Jim Henson. You'll come at the fog.
I tell you how many times in this house my son and I have said back to each other, and maybe he mispiggied her. I can't that is now common parlance in the Radulich household. Thank you, Robert Cooper.
Oh gosh. I there's a couple times where I'm like, I'm gonna turn him into the count.
Yes, my son thinks that's fucking hilarious. My son fisting, he thinks it's great. He's 9. Listen. Just thinks it's the funniest thing ever. All right, man. Jesse, Return of the Jedi, Andor, A New Hope, Empire. What do you think?
Okay. All right. Andor has been really critically acclaimed from what I understand. So I'm going to probably say that that's going to be 2. Okay. Empire is going to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Return of the Jedi, obviously 4, which means A New Hope's going to be 3. So there you go. That's my guess.
Coming.
I pinched and squealed there for a second.
There it is. He tickled the butthole with A New Hope at number 3. You son of a bitch.
Okay.
All right, and then Andor at number 2.
I think this was the only way it could go down. I really don't think unless you're going to try and put Andor somewhere maybe below A New Hope. That's the only way.
All right, folks. Well, that is the GameSpot's 27 best Star Wars movies and television.
It's a very brave list.
It was stunning and brave.
Yeah,
but guys, we went almost 2 hours because I thought I had more time than I had apparently. Talking Star Wars.
There's still a video to go.
One more video.
Oh, shit, we still have another video. Oh, damn it! All right, Robert Cooper, with your crazy eyes, with your hand up someone's face. Go ahead and introduce the next video. I'm just picking it.
So I love how you were like, you guys are just going to bring all the serious videos. I am giving you the Black Satans. I think this song is the Satan of Hell. So you can just you can tell about how fucking serious these guys are. Okay. This tickles the fuck out of me.
I already like the title in 8-bit here. So looks good.
What is the Black Satans?
The Black Satans is, imagine every cheesy ass black metal like trope in video.
Yeah.
And then they're just dunking on it. They're just having fun. They're just dunking on it.
All right, here we go. The Black Satans, the Satan of Hell, as opposed to the Satan of Heaven.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Here we are. We are in the woods in winter. Okay. Yeah.
And everyone's got their corpse paint on.
Yep. Oh yeah, like they all have the corpse paint. They're.
Here's what I want you to do: take the camera and just spin and point it up. There you go.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they can't walk through it. I knew you were gonna fucking love this.
Oh, this is fantastic.
How old is this video, by the way? Is
like 12 years old.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite fucking things back when I used to write.
Oh my god, this is the
It gets fucking better.
I like their creepy walks.
Trying to
see what's even funnier, it was between this or the other one where they're on a beach.
Oh. Are they walking the same?
I would a lot of it, yeah.
Oh my god, it's Darth Vader.
Can you imagine if that's actually how he walks? I mean,
it probably is. That's why he has to wear the suit.
Peekaboo! Yes, hump that tree. Rawr!
Like just goofy ass bullshit.
Somebody's all right.
Yes, sir.
Comes the fucking breakdown. He fucking missed. I forgot about that.
Coming at you with crosses.
Oh boy.
The upside down crosses.
Stick your arms out.
Yeah, so you look nice and menacing. If there were a bear attack, these guys would be safe.
They're good.
Yeah, they could absolutely take a cocaine bear.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Oh, that's great. This is like
Dude.
if your friends just wanted to like shoot a music video for fucking fun.
Oh yeah. Because I'm sure you've seen the occasional fucking goofy ass black metal video where they're trying to take themselves seriously,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, bro, like that. A Call of the Winter Moon by Immortal is my favorite. Fucking humping the tree. But yeah, the other one where they're on the beach and the singer's in a thong. Like he is in a thong.
Now I'm upset you didn't choose that one.
Yeah, he's in a thong, fucking flipping his sack back and forth, like doing black metal vocals while flipping his nutsack back and forth.
Oh, that's
Kill that tree.
fantastic.
Kill that tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
Fuck the snow. It's our forest. Go back to your church.
That was fantastic, Coop. Well done.
Thank you.
Satans.
I'll make sure I choose the beach.
Can we do a solid for ourselves real quick and just check to see if they're on Spotify and look at this? I want to see the titles of the songs on the album. The Black Satans. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't even think they'd be on there.
They are right here. The Eternal Bliss. Well, there's only one song.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's it.
They're a joke band.
Well, the song is called The Eternal Bliss of Satanic Rites. So they don't even have the one you just played on there, which
I think that other
possibility
one's new. Yeah, you've got the Satan of Hell. The Satanic Darkness is the one where they're on the beach. And then I think the Eternal Bliss of Satanic Rites is which, I mean, hey, the one where they're on the beach is only 2.5 minutes long.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Sack popping.
And then we've got the Mutilation of Christ. That's probably not that's probably another one.
All right. So I got to apologize in advance because I had to move schedules around and I had to move everything to Mondays, and there's only a limited time we can do this. We are not doing this again until August, but we're coming back.
A long time. Damn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're out for the summer.
We are out for the summer. School's out for the summer, but we're back in August. But we're back in August with a very specific show. Okay, Jesse, do you know how this is the Metal Hammer of Doom after all?
God,
the phrase I coined.
Yeah, and I have run to the bank with. Do you know that in August, sir, is the month of August? No, in
the 8th month of the year.
Okay, August 8th,
7 and 9.
August 8th, 2020. August 8th, 2023 is the anniversary of NWA's Straight Outta Compton.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, sir.
Look out!
So you know what we're doing on August 7th?
Tell me.
Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox, NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton. Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
goodness.
We're going to do a Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox review of Straight Outta Compton by the National Wrestling Alliance.
I can't wait. Yes. Oh, fantastic.
I'll make sure I black up for the occasion.
You make sure you're blackface for the occasion?
Yeah. I'll just black up.
If you go in blackface, I'll go in blacker face.
Oh no. Because I'm already terrified of Al Jolson.
Are you really?
We've been over this because you think it's funny as hell. You're like, Al Jolson?
Dude,
I'm like, no.
I think our first dance was to an Al Jolson song. No shit.
I'm terrified. His blackface creeps me out. It looks so unhuman.
And
you were like, oh, Al Jolson, the jazz singer? Like, no, Al Jolson's great. Like,
great. You're a weirdo.
As you go through our podcast, you're going to find one where we have this conversation.
Okay. Well, we're back. So we're back August 7th with the NWA Straight Outta Compton. And then we're back. And then because I didn't want to do this again, I was like, I am making sure I block out plenty of time for this. So we are then monthly for a while. We're September 18th, October 2nd, November 6th, December 18th, January 8th. We are skipping February because it's Black History Month and there was no time. And then March 4th.
Black Metal History Month.
Yeah. So we have time to figure out what we're going to do in September. I just pulled up the list and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, we're not doing this in June or July. I don't really need to know this right now. So we'll figure out what we're going to do in September and October. But we're doing NWA next. In the meantime, in between time, This week we reviewed Guardians of the Galaxy. We also talked about the writer strike. We had a very long podcast. We did a page for DC Mutant Barbera Volume 3. Jesse dropped a bunch of snap materials because he only likes Evan and doesn't like to record with me. It was
I need to text him real quick.
Could please in the middle of let's call him in the middle of the show, please. There was movies that don't suck and some that do for That's Our Time from Panic Fest, and then today they dropped the Ghosted and what's the other one? Evil Dead Rise. Then more snap material because it's all Jesse does now. More snap material because all Jesse
one
does
fucking
now.
show I record, and then I divide it into 4. That's all that happened.
Right, nice if you just stretch your fucking content over a week. Not like me, who's only recording once a week. And then Saturday is Everyone Loves a Bad Guy, The Simpsons, and then Sunday, the 14th, Mother's Day. Mother is back in 2014. Robert Cooper and I reviewed Judas Priest, Redeemer of the Souls. Next week,
Redeemer of Souls.
Jesse and I, when he used to like me and recorded with me, we did a review of Iron Maiden, Legacy of the Beast, the comic book.
That's right. The comic book, all based on the mobile game.
Right. And then in the evening time, Jason and I will be reviewing You Season 4. Just started watching. John Brodigan's back. Yes, sir. John Brodigan.
The Right Hook reunion.
Yes, the Right Hook reunion right here on TV Party tonight. We're going to be with Alexis Hana and Zach the Lego Maniac. We're going to be reviewing The Muppets Mayhem. Wednesday is a triple. This is the only week I'm working like 4 shows in a row. It's and after this, like I'm done with this. But it was the only way to get all this shit in. Wednesday, myself and Robert Winfrey, instead of doing a Damn You Hollywood, we were doing a triple feature for Tetris, Boston Strangler, and Bruiser. On Thursday, in the afternoon, myself and Pat Mullen, because we delayed this show yet again, we'll be looking at the Barrera versus Morales trilogy, and then I'm going to a beer tasting dinner, Jesse, at Keel and Curly Winery. It's not naked. It's not.
Okay. All right.
I will be. Yeah, it might be by the end of this. By the end of that dinner, but yeah, it's a clothed. I have to say clothed beer tasting. How do you feel about me wearing clothing?
I see it all the time. Ain't nothing new there.
Do you want to see something?
I've seen you with your shirt off, sir.
Oh my god, that's true.
Yeah, you remember the first time we did video and you're like, "Oh, let me get my shawl."
At least you remembered it was a shawl. All right, Robert Cooper, show us where you pissed from.
Yeah, I don't have shit to plug because that friend of mine, she got a new boyfriend, so she don't do her podcast. Great. Yay, bipolar. But beyond that, yeah, go find that fucking cool YouTube video on the Phantom Menace and the marketing behind it. It was quite cool, quite nice. Right. I don't remember
Starcher,
who does it.
Tell us about all your Snap material. That's all you care about.
Listen, if you play the mobile game Snap, you can hear me and Evan Bevins talk about it. Matter of fact, I just got off the phone with him a few seconds ago. Listen, we divided it up. We had a good time. We tried to keep it in nice bite-sized episodes, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes a piece. So you can check that out. Listen, we also talked JLA Rock of Ages on the Unspoken Issues podcast, which was a Grant Morrison story that came out in JLA back in the 90s. Yeah, it was a really good story. Electric Blue Superman.
Oh boy, Blue Superman?
Yeah, Electric Blue Superman blows himself up by reading a CD with his powers. That's
what can you do, Electric Blue?
Sing it.
I will.
So yeah, that sounds
at karaoke with the Jackie.
Oh yes, please.
Do a duet.
Yes, you should. So that was me, Darian Dean, talking JLA Rock of Ages, and then we have my solo shot that apparently, thank goodness, Chris Bailey goes out there. He's a good guy because he retweeted it. And he told people he enjoyed listening to me doing a solo cast on the first appearance of Star-Lord. And Robert Cooper, did you know that Star-Lord, as a baby, was going to get killed by his own father with an axe?
Like you do.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, buddy. That was some crazy shit that happened in there. It was the most unheroic superhero origin I ever read. So check that out. A solo cast, probably about, I think it was like 20 to 30 minutes of me just watching that. That's it. Or reading that to everybody. Yeah, I read it to everybody, by the way. Read the whole thing.
You having a stroke?
Get us out of here, Mark. I'm tired.
All right. Well, this was 2 hours of nonsense. Start. Do you remember when this was a metal show? We did 2 hours of just talking about Star Wars, and there might have been like 10 minutes.
not even 10 minutes of talking about Galactic Empire.
Yeah, no, we couldn't even get 10 minutes out of that. This is fun though. This is why I do this stuff. You just talk. At this point, the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox is just an excuse for me to talk with you guys for an hour or two. I'll tell you really quick before we go. So, like, my wife tonight was, non-marked date night. So, this is why I had to go mute for a second because she goes out and she's like, I don't know when I'm coming home. Okay, great. Don't fucking come home then. I'm going to talk to my friends all night. I'm going to talk to my friends. I'm going to cut TikToks. And I'm going to watch you. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a Mark night. Like we started a little late because I took myself on a date. Take yourself on a date, people. Okay, treat yourself to the things that you enjoy. Self-care is the best care.
That's true.
So I took myself on a date to Chili's and I had myself a steak, and because I was in one of those moods where, like, I need to not people right now and I need to go eat steak, and so I did. And I'm going to come home and I'll talk to my friends. I'm going to talk to my friends about Star Wars. It's going to be great. And I'm going to do TikToks. And I'm going to watch you. And it's going to be... And she'll come home whenever the hell she comes home. And like at a half an hour, 45 minutes ago, she walked through the door. I'm like I was naked or something. Like, oh, God. Like, I'm still with my friends. What are you doing? Go back out. So this was totally mistimed.
Oh, well,
it doesn't matter. All right, folks. Now that you know way too much about my personal life, Jesse Starcher, Robert Cooper, this has been something we used to call the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. Be well, be safe, and behave.